Finn with us here today. And like usual, we're gonna work on the Dream FC. In the last video you guys saw, we made this super pretty relay board. Got everything that we need mounted to it, but now we have to wire it up. There's still some holes that I have to drill, so I gotta do some measuring. I gotta get the wires for the relays that are passed through the back of the board back through to the front so that they can come nice and neatly up into the fuse panels. I've got a brief idea on how I'm gonna do that. I just gotta kind of measure things out, drill holes and stuff. If you guys saw the last video, you'd basically know what we're gonna do in this one. So yeah, just some drilling and wiring some stuff. I guess without any further ado, I'll set you guys up on a tripod. We're gonna mark some stuff out here and we'll get to drilling holes. And just like that, I think we're all done with the fabrication stuff on this. All of the holes are drilled for the pass-throughs, and they all have their rubber grommets. Basically, what we gotta do now is just wire the relays to the bus bars, and then we also have to wire the relays to the fuse panel. I'm gonna give you guys a little breakdown on how a relay works real quick. If you already know, you can feel free to skip this part. If you want a better understanding or just want to learn how they work, then let's get into that right now. And here we are. I've got a relay in hand with the wiring harness, and I was just going over the paperwork that came with these because they were sold as like a kit or whatever. And I'm glad that I actually gave this a second look, because all along I thought my blue one was going to be the output for the device. So I'll get into that here in a minute, but I'm just gonna explain this to you guys beforehand so I don't confuse you guys. So yeah, so basically you will look at the relay in two ways, which is basically here's a battery and then this is your control into your device. So this wire here on the bottom, which is your pin 30, I have a little sheet here. You guys can look up a wiring diagram online, but pin 30, which is this blue wire, is going to connect to a battery positive, and then the black one is your battery ground, and then your yellow wire, which is pin 87, is to the accessory. So if I was using this relay to operate radiator fans, this wire here would be the one that actually goes to the fan itself. Then what you do is you have this wire, and this is where things get a little bit confusing, but this is your trigger wire, or this is what activates the relay. So what I do is I pick a terminal on my fuse panel, I run that up to the dashboard where your switch panel is, and then I power every single switch on the switch panel from that one wire. And then on the outputs of each individual switch, I run a wire from the back of the switch to every single relay. I would have a switch on my dash and it would have a label on it saying radiator fan or fans or whatever. You hit that switch, it takes the power from the output that you're sending from the fuse panel to the switch panel. And then on the opposite side of the fan switch, you have a wire going to each individual relay. Once it activates the relay, the power that's operating the fan doesn't go through the switch to the relay. It's coming from your battery source, and then it gets redirected to the fan. If you guys can kind of understand that, that's how we're doing all of this. So all of these blue wires are gonna go through the back side of the board, and they're gonna come out through these holes here on the bottom. They'll plug into the positive terminals on the fuse blocks, and then the black wires will pass through up here on these two holes. They will have O-ring connectors. They'll mount to your ground bar, and then the white wire, which is your trigger, I'm going to put a connector and make a harness that goes up to the switch panel. So you'll just undo a connector and it separates the relay board from the switch panel. Then you have your yellow wires, which will connect to your distribution blocks with O-rings, and then each of these O-rings will get taken off and say this one here will be your radiator fan, this one will be your low beam, your high beam, your parking lights, you know, and then all of these will go through these two holes here. So this one will go here, 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 and they'll just go to wherever the device is located. That's how we're gonna be wiring this up, and that's how a relay works. Now that we've kind of talked about that, and you guys know basically what all this stuff does, now it's time to actually wire it up. I just got done with the final pieces on the relay board. I did a little bit of the finishing stuff off camera just because I wanted to rush and get it done. And I'm looking at it and I couldn't be more happy. I'm gonna show you guys it right now, and then we're gonna put it in the car and I'm gonna show you what it looks like also in the car. Hope you guys like it. And as you guys just saw, the relay board is completely in the car. Now, it's not for good. There's still plenty of times that needs to come in and out. I've got to run wires behind it for the harness that will go to the switch panel. We have to make that. And I also will have to do wiring behind the panel for where it comes out of the distribution blocks. and then goes to the devices. So everything that gets wired up in the car basically has to get wired, and then you run it to the relay board, make your connections there, and then you put the relay board back on and you're done. Thanks for hanging out and watching as we finished that relay board. I was really happy we were able to get it finished completely to the point of where there's no more wiring that has to be done on it. Now the task is of editing it and making sure that I'm not leaving out a ton of footage so that you guys kind of see exactly what happened. But anyways, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.